Hey, how you doing, folks? Today, Budget Bachelor Bill coming at you with daily doses of post-pandemic positivity, and we got the Cubs rolling here, and the White Sox, of course. Just great to see another terrific day yesterday. They had some down games, both of them. I think some losses, some consecutive losses, but some wins in there that show you the talent's still there and the consistency is still there. So not worried right now, but just a terrific outlook as long as they stay injury free and the talent continues to shine. We should be close to first place throughout the season. The weather is getting more consistent. The crowds are there. Post-pandemic crowds, all eager to get out. You got 40, 50,000 that can fit in, 40,000 roughly in Wrigley, 50,000 call it, and these are rough estimates in the White Sox Stadium, which is guaranteed rate now. It's gone through a bunch of sponsors, and it's now called Guaranteed Rate Field. So, hopefully everything has been going great for the last week or two in your lives, folks. I've started to take a few breaks here and there. I got to concentrate on some, focus on some life goals and some management that I have to do. So I just, took a week or two break, but I'm back and wanted to share some budget items, some things to help you be productive with your day, some things to keep you happy, and maybe a happy story you could relate to or customize for your own happiness. So, I mentioned the Cubs, of course, very colorful. I put a mask on the side of the scoreboard there, and I changed the location of the airplane was flying across the scoreboard, and now it's across the clock. So, or above on top of the clock. Normally there should be a W for a win or a L for a loss flag above the clock or behind the clock. So, at any rate, those are the colors for the day. You see, you got the Cubs attire on, and back to Budget Bachelor Bill. I wanted to bring up. I always mention the flag, which is of course prominent in each of my videos, the American flag. And life is funny sometimes. I'm walking my outside time, which is limited. I walk short distances, but they're down the street by me. There's this container that has books, and I think they're meant for people just walking on the sidewalk. If books still happen to be an interest, they're waning, of course, with the technological age and with the everything moving further and further towards the electronic age. But these books are in, kind of like one of those old mailboxes as you walk down the sidewalk. And I happen to find, and I brought up the American flag often in my videos. What are the odds? This life is strange. A book on the American flag and the history of it. So education is always a good thing. I'm just a Bill. I'm only a Bill. All these educational videos here, fundamentally, when you're younger, and really at any age, you forget history and forget the things you learn in school, and it's always good to have these maybe on a shelf or something you can simply Google at this point. And it just keeps your mind sharp. That's why I enjoy watching Jeopardy, actually. It keeps my mind sharp on history and things I've learned over the course of my life. And I think it's a good idea for your mind, to keep your mind strong, your memory strong, and just everything flowing as smoothly as possible. On top of the vitamins, on top of the nutrition, you need education. So always be learning new and diverse things. So anyway, this flag book, I mentioned Betsy Ross, who has like a cousin or something. I mean, I didn't know that. Who knew that? And then there's all sorts of flag pictures as there became more and more states, and the colonies branched out to east, west, northeast, northwest, etc. So see, there's an example, and they give a little paragraph or two as the flag gained more and more states on the significance of the flag, and just kind of pointing out that the flag was such an important part in red, white, and blue, and yes, it is. All right, so I wanted to start with that. I mentioned all the fun that's around baseball and savings. There's a savings item here that I wanted to bring up, and I just fairly recently got this. We go to the doctor. We've had our COVID tests. We've had our COVID vaccine now, a lot of us. Some of us haven't, and that's fine. That's a personal choice with your nutrition. But I think at this point it's kind of 6 degrees of separation, knowing somebody that's got COVID to whatever degree they've at least got it. So I've never neglected the fact that it's been real. I've delayed in the vaccine based on my own personal upkeep and physical appearances and all the measures I know that I take every day. But on the other hand, there's no downside really to the vaccine if you think about it. Employers are going to want it. You're going to generally keep other people around you safer. Imagine if the flu vaccine came out when the media was what it is now, or when IT and tech were what they are now. People would have been afraid of taking the flu shot, and there might have been protests and backlash against taking the vaccine for that. So, a lot of this is driven by word of mouth and particularly the media, but there's really no downside to the vaccine, and it is a real virus, and I think everybody realizes that now. And what is the downside? I mean, we wore the mask so long, and you take the vaccine. There's really no downside to it. And a friend I was just talking to him yesterday said that, and it just pretty much puts a lid on it. There is no downside. It's going to be better for you, better for those around you, better for businesses, better for venues, better for events to just have it. And again, the 6 degrees of separation, all of us probably knowing somebody that's had it to whatever degree, says that it's real, does it not? And people that have protested it, I understand. It's your body, and it's something that's sacred to you, but it's also something that's nothing but a plus for yourself and for other people and what you want to accomplish. Say like, what if a promotion and your boss said, was really pro-vaccine and you didn't want it, and it was a promotion at work or something like that, or a raise, a pay raise, a promotion, a pay raise, upward mobility in a company, wherever you are. Vaccine's good, yes? So anyway, I wanted to start with that because medical and your health is so important to getting up in the morning, hitting that device on the countertop, and working to your physical abilities each day, both indoors and out. And I bought something that normally would require you to go to a doctor, but this is something that can help you if you feel overactive, if you feel anxious, if you feel like maybe some dietary measures weren't taken, and maybe you're sweating more than you thought, or you're out of breath more than you thought, something like that. But it's quite simply, hold on a second, a blood pressure monitor. They're so inexpensive. They're like 9, 10, up to $20. But this is a wrist one, and you can get these, and they're just really handy to have. And at any given time, you can check that stuff. It's going to be, maybe age dependent, but activity dependent. So really, anyone your age, and it's going to have a little manual with all the numbers and the stats on what's high, low, at risk, that type of thing as far as like the numbers go. But I got to tell you, this looks really cheap, and it is, I guess. But you put it on your wrist, and just like you're at the doctor, the thing somehow reads that it's on your wrist and automatically tightens for about 30 seconds, and you're like, okay, you can stop tightening now. And then it stops and releases and gives you pretty accurate numbers. So I just think it's a good health thing, and it would save you money because you don't have to save you time also. You don't have to go to the doctor. Some potential other sales pitches when you go to the doctor that they're going to always throw at you for this test, that test, and before you know it, you got a $500 bill in front of you. So this is 10 or 15 bucks. This is for your blood pressure, and it actually has a measure of the pulse too. So your blood pressure, diastolic, systolic, and then your pulse. And your manual will explain what those mean really in a little further detail. So 10 or 15 bucks, good health measure. We're all more conscious of it now, especially with all the COVID stuff going around and the revolution we're in. really just an unbelievable revolution if you think about it, all the changes out the door, and maybe routines you had that were simple, that were just, linear, and you did them so simplistically. Now everything seems to have a wrench in it. So anyway, this is my health measure for today. A little blood pressure monitor. They have them for your arm, of course. This one's for your wrist. All sorts of pricing on the media sites out there. Pick one up. It's good for your health, and generally just to know that you're keeping generally healthy. All right? So those are my tips for today, folks. Go Cubs, go White Sox, go whatever team you are across the nation, across the globe, whatever sport enthusiast you are, or books, or music, or whatever your interest is. Make it a terrific day. Have some happy things in there. Keep a budget in mind. Keep savings in mind. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks. See you then.